Hey YouTubers, this is Rant and Robin.
And DigiFoxCat. Here is Team Iron Man of our Marvel Tsum Tsums. We got Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Black Widow. One thing I do want to note on the Marvel ones, I kind of wish that they had continued the pattern across instead of doing these blankness on the bottom. Even on Iron Man's, his arc reactor that his heart powers his heart is kind of more on his chin rather than like being right here where my thumb is, where it should be. Overall details, pretty well detailed. You can see Spider-Man's emblem, Black Widow's design. She even has her little staff things that her baby lightsabers that she fights with. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I will say it's hard with Iron Man to differentiate what era of Iron Man, because there's so many different mock Iron Man, mock this, mock that. It almost looks more retro to me, the way they've done his face.
Yeah.
But the way the arc reactor is, it makes me think that it's more, might be more newer. Because I don't know if the old one had the arc reactor, as obviously.
Yeah, this design for Iron Man reminds me of the cartoon they had in the 90s that was slightly connected with the Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah, it is important to note that these are not movie related. These are comic book related, and comic book wise, you can draw from a multiplicity of sources for it. Now, when we display our Tsum Tsums, whether Marvel or Disney, we do cut off the large tag when displaying them.
It just makes it easier to see and
more aesthetically pleasing too.
Yeah. We kept like they used to do Marvel and Disney, and we'll show you later on our Star Wars ones. They had Star Wars. They stopped doing that because I think they started getting tired of the Tsum Tsums. So that's Team Iron Man.
Okay, so here is Team Cap. Again, we just kind of divided them up by the Civil War movie. Now, one thing to notice here is both Hawkeye and Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, were very hard to find. Originally, Winter Soldier wasn't even available on this side of the U.S., let alone, I don't think, in the U.S. at all. I wasn't sure if we got lucky with ours or if it was the start of release, because they had said they were going to release him as part of the second batch of Tsum Tsums here. So I don't know if ours is first or second round one, but we found him in Target, and even now in the second batch, he is very rare.
Yeah.
Still, and Hawkeye seems to be a little bit more common, but still is harder to find. It is interesting to note on both or all three that there is the detail. Hawkeye's got his arrows. Cap has his shield on his back, along with the wings on his mask, and even the stripes on his belt area, and the A on his top.
But no star on his chest.
Yeah, Winter Soldier, instead of Winter Soldier, they put the star on his side that he has. They really worked with his suit. They kind of gave him the long hair. I don't really like the felt hair that they gave him, though, or the kind of the wisp right there that they supposedly kind of gave him. And again, he looks size-wise, he looks kind of odd when compared with Cap. But again, very well designed. I'll let you talk about Hawkeye a little bit more if you want.
I think Hawkeye's hair is probably the best one that works because he has that natural short, kind of sticks out everywhere hair because he's the mismatch. They got his bow on one side and his quiver and his arrows on the other side. Got his purple belt going around, except for his tummy. And then he's got his glasses, so this would be more of the modern look that built off of the comic, because originally he would look funny because he would look like he's a Batman impersonator in purple.
Now, just aesthetically speaking, I'm going to say this because for many of you out there, the reason we're calling these glasses is because in the comic, when he wore this look, which was kind of what he was inspired by, what the movie used, the ultimate look, he had glasses. But I want to note here that the so-called glasses resemble a mask, the way they've done them on the Tsum Tsum, and I think that's misleading because Hawkeye didn't wear a mask in this look. He wore purple sunglasses, so they should have made the eyes a little larger, I think, or something to show that it was really not a mask.
Yep. They were spy glasses. They did much more. Okay, these two sort of go together because of a recent comic book. This is Spider-Man and Spider-Woman, Spider-Gwen, and Miles Morales. Miles Morales took over the Ultimate comic line after they killed off the Ultimate Peter Parker, and Spider-Gwen, like you guys stated in our Funko Pop video, she is from a what-if scenario of Marvel, and was brought in under the Spider-Verse to be a main character. Both of these have nice detail. This is probably the best Miles Morales we had because a lot of them have this really white line here where it looks just like blotchy and broken up and not taking, I mean, you can see a little bit of it right in here, a little bit on the side. And then his design's different, of course, making him a different Spider-Man. And the Spider-Gwen has some nice detail too. It's hard to see, but inside her mask there, or her hood and her mask there, she's got her lines. And it's done. And that's their side views. They actually are putting these two together in the new revamped Marvel Universe.
I think it's interesting to note that with Miles, they really gave him the wing look because more than Peter Parker, Miles has the wings. I have not personally read much of Miles's saga other than to know that he exists in, currently we have two main universes of Spider-Man. In one universe, Peter Parker is still Spider-Man and has just recovered from the Superior Saga, where Dr. Octopus overtook him, which again is well worth the read. But here in the Ultimate line, which evolved into Miles Morales, Peter Parker dies and Spider-Woman gives over the identity to a young boy, Miles Morales, which is really a shift change because they not only changed Spider-Man, made Spider-Man young, but they also changed race, which was a big thing, to take a kid out of the suburbs of New York, an African American, and really he initially his comics were very boring, to be honest, but I've heard his more recent relaunch title has been pretty interesting, but I've only seen his interaction with Spider-Gwen because like my wife said, they have become a couple via some of the Spider-Verse events where they came into contact. They do not live in the same universe, but they are dating via dimensional rifts and stuff, I guess.
Good old Spider-Verse tech.
Yep. That's long distance if there ever was any.
Oh, yeah.